Now it's time to press buttons and talk with Manky and ProZD.
Alright, so we're new session. Just a warning, I have a slight cough. We'll see how it goes.
I guess we're starting. I wasn't ready, but we started.
We're starting, bitch.
You just
right,
like,
let's go.
Okay, let's do it.
If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard.
I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime.
Ole? What? Please answer the question.
What is he now, a bullfighter?
Ole!
Yeah, like the judge is trying. That's all right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here.
We can?
Have a look at these floor plans. Look at these floor plans! There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall.
If that's so, then where was the witness?
Oh my god, are you...
It seems Mr. Wright has an answer.
That's right. The only possible conclusion.
Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime?
Now I remember this particularly, I don't know why, because it's not hard to figure out, but I kept guessing like somewhere around here, because I guess it didn't dawn on me what he was talking about.
Okay.
But I think, wait. Okay, so Meekins is the killer in this scenario.
What?
So he...
Meekins the killer?
Well, in this
yeah,
diagram.
right. Yes,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
the victim. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that might have been confusing.
Yeah,
there he is. He's the V! Officer Marshall was the V!
What?
There's like no V on the thing.
There? But what V? But that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was.
No, he wasn't. I mean, correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. You're half right. Half credit. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman.
Objection. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene.
Meekins, it doesn't rhyme.
Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure.
Objection! May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted.
When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir.
Yeah, and how did Detective Goodman respond?
Oh man, he suddenly pulled a knife on me. I was like, dang man, you need to calm down.
Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it?
Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it.
The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card.
Oh, I get it.
If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall?
It's been like 2 weeks since we last recorded, so it's like, it feels good. It feels good to like get back in the saddle.
Yeah,
get back in the saddle.
We had thank you giving going. Oh yeah, that's a good joke.
Thank you.
Let's try to keep those going.
Keep those good puns coming. You got quite an imagination, partner.
I think he's talking to you.
You got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence.
Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it.
You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective.
Okay, but answer my question, though.
Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim.
I think I clearly established...
I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Well, you're guilty, guilty. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim?
I think that's the first message that's been like halved up.
Yeah, that was
Weird, yeah. Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I'm a sham.
I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the dessert. The
desert heat.
The dessert heat. The desert heat.
Ack! This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? And Heart's not in it today.
Tisku. It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics.
The basics? Turn on the... Okay. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Nick, try thinking outside the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise.
Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place? Do you feel like the text is going slower than usual?
A little bit.
What do you mean?
There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later as it has been.
Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker.
According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, quote-unquote, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason.
Just for fun.
Yeah, just felt like it. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside.
What the hell?
So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth?
Perhaps the video is the key to all of our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. I just want to watch it again, it's so good.
Very well, let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker.
Wait, okay, how do I fast forward?
No, let's watch it.
Okay, I'm sick of this. This sucks.
Okay.
Okay, open the locker. I think I know what it is.
And he's coming?
Hey, what you doing?
Hey, oh, God, fuck you, man. Oh, wait, yeah, there it is. This is why, because he got
blood all over him.
his
This is
Jackie.
gross.
Got blood all over your Jackie.
That's nasty.
That's gross. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room. I don't know what that reason was, yet.
I don't know if it was a sexual thing or what.
Yet.
However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked and beat the shit out of you, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. Or it could be chocolate. I can't tell because the video's
A chocolate white coat.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the coat in your locker.
Oh shit. Not bad, huh, partner?
Here's his partner.
sucks.
I don't like any cowboy.
It's got a good
Let's get an Indian.
Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth?
Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth.
No.
2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now, would we?
Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it.
All right. It seems the time has come.
I was gonna do a little more lying.
Yeah, I guess so. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. Now, I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
So the supposed victim was really you.
But there's one thing I still don't understand. Large quantities of blood traces were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand.
Maybe they kept all the blood from that case in the locker.
Yeah, my guess is he's the donor.
It looked like too much blood for that.
Okay.
Okay, Marshall's confession. Probably just. I mean,
Let's
anything.
press,
yeah, I think this is a press
Go
around
back.
moment.
Why couldn't he? Why do you have to do it that day?
Yeah, what'd you have to do it that day? What's special about that day? When you say it, you mean
Do you even have to ask, partner?
the Sline incident.
2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over.
But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room?
When a case is closed, only the detective who was in charge of it can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time.
I swear they've never done that before.
I think they have, but I don't know. No matter what the cost.
This should be capitalized, I think.
No, it was an ellipsis.
Oh, well.
I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine.
But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it?
That day was my last chance. That's why I...
Stole the detective's ID. That's weird.
That's strange.
So is that like a fetish thing, or why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? I won't judge.
If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera. And the...
And the detective's ID card.
I stole that the morning of the incident.
So that really was why Goodman started filing out that lost item report.
I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. That's not returning
yeah,
it.
that's...
I'll just put it in a random ass spot.
You didn't get it, I put it on the ground. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall.
Left it on a bench at Burger King. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Normally, that locker shouldn't have opened.
So it opened because a rubber glove was stuck in the door by chance? Then Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. Oh, interesting. Wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. Nobody expects Officer Meekins. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off?
Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time, so logically the thing you do is attack someone with a knife.
Yeah, that's pretty,
Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person.
Is he like screaming at him like all of a sudden, like, hey, what are you doing there?
So grab your knife and just whip it at him.
Yeah.
Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID.
I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year.
When did Edgeworth get so much influence?
Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way, with me knocking him out and everything.
By the way, what happened to your knife?
You know, they're taking this very calmly, like just this detective, not a detective anymore, but this guy just like dressed up as the victim.
You're like, so how'd you do that?
This is like a trial about
That's
that.
weird.
Oh, you mean this one?
I don't know what to say.
So what happened next?
Yeah, like, this would be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So, you did your research beforehand.
Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner.
Doesn't technically answer my question.
I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there.
What was Officer Meekins doing during that time?
What else? He was sleeping like a baby.
So what you're saying is, on that day...
There wasn't any murder in the evidence. Aw, man.
Look, oh, come on!
Not even a little murder? But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place.
What are you, blind?
No.
No, I
The
can see
victim
fine.
shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner.
Somebody get his pulse.
So you stole the evidence from the locker? Actually, no I didn't. Why not?
It was right there.
Come on, just go for it. When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence?
Why would Edgeworth know?
It's still missing, Your Honor. I don't know.
Edgeworth,
Where'd you put it,
Give it back, Edgeworth.
I didn't take
You're
it.
so greedy.
Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Edgeworth sure is greedy. Someone else stole the evidence.
I'm not greedy.
Edgeworth, give back the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing?
Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer.
Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer? This is no small offense.
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution.
Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
Well, I hope on the next episode he gets an answer he's satisfied with.
I hope so too, Alex.
Hey, Jake Marshall, I'm on your side.
I'm not. Fuck Jake Marshall.
Oh, I thought that was him responding.
What?
I'm not on your side.
I'm not. Fuck Jake Marshall. Jake Marsh? Come on, Marshall.
Jake, you're a cool guy. You have the cowboy thing going
Okay, it's not cool, but you know.
I mean, you're committed.
You do what you want, Jake Marshall, I guess.
Nobody does you like you, Jake.
You go, Jake.
A+, I don't know.
Go, Jake, go.